a new awakening.
Hi, I'm Annie from the prairie.
And I am Adrienne from the mountains. Hi.
And hi, and welcome to the Brass Ovary Psychic Sisterhood reunion. Those who are listening or watching, you can go to Achieve TV live, or you can go to Achieve Listen as posted. And Adrienne, how are you in your new area? Where are you now?
I'm actually in Pennsylvania now.
How cool is that?
Yeah. And I'm in my room, and this is where I do all my broadcasting from. And it's awesome. Just moving back into life slowly but surely. How are you?
So I'm doing good. It seems as if I just put all the plants out, got all the things set up perfect, and now it's time to bring them back inside again. I don't know about Pennsylvania, but here we have winter, of course. Does Pennsylvania have winter?
Oh, hell yeah. But
Oh,
we
hell
are
yeah.
actually having 2 days of hot. Hot. It's like summer today. It was like summer
Really?
yesterday, but it'll go back down to. We just had a freeze 2 nights ago, so yeah, Pennsylvania gets lots of snow.
I know you don't like that.
Well, I don't want to shovel it, but I don't mind the snow as long as I'm not lost in it somewhere.
I
So
have found that the secret to dog walking and walking in snow is, what do they call those? They're little
snowshoes.
steel. They're steel things that you strap onto the outside of your tennis shoes or your boots. I
Ah,
forget what they're called. The thought came to me. You can get them at most
cleats. Are they
stores.
cleats?
Huh? No, they're
Cleats.
not. Cleats. I remember cleats when I was in high school, and I wore them on the bottom of my boots, my cowboy boots, and I'd go.
Uh,
No,
I love the
these
sound.
are
I have to put my tap shoes on for that.
like tap shoes, right? No, these were I can't for they're mug stompers or something like that. They're just like crisscrosses of metal. And anybody that's in cold weather will know what I'm talking about if they do any outside walking and stuff. You can wear them over your tennis shoes. You can wear them over your,
Cool.
they just kind of fit on around your shoes. So it gives you that steel traction onto the snow.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out this year. Definitely.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
So are
I
you,
hate. Yeah. I was gonna
you're
say I hate
back
being
on?
deprived of my walks because of
Oh,
weather.
I know. I know it. So you are back into the media and what is the name of your show again?
Grinwicket.
Grinwicket.
Which is Grinwicket is actually a character from my second book that I'm working on.
I know it is.
Yeah. So I decided to just take a hiatus from my regular stuff, and I'm still doing readings and all that online. But it's just the Grinwicket gives me a little bit more latitude to do what I want to do, and depending on the show day. So I haven't done anything unusual so far, but I figured the name would give me more because you can't define Grinwicket especially if you don't know who the character is. So I can
I
do anything I
remember
want. It
your
used to be
first
actually the
book.
name of my little private stand-up comedy show. That was an invitation only thing, and I haven't been doing that. So I decided to apply the name to my show.
I remember I remember your first book was so awesome because
Oh,
it was
thank
about a
you.
goddess that was tell a little about that book that you wrote.
I have it right over here because I'm going to re-release it as a Kindle edition, hopefully before the end of the year. It's called
Cool.
Nomaris: The Edge of Remembering. It's very pro-environment, and it has a lot of dragons. Um, and the dragons are able to transmutate themselves, so they can take a kind of a semi-human form, and that's to conserve energy because dragons in their full form take up so much energy. So it's like I said, it's an environmental book with a lot of romance and
And what about the one with the long
adventure.
fingernails?
What was that?
Talk about the long fingernailed character, the one that's into fingernails.
Oh, Synthargus. Synthargus is a dragon elder who decides she's getting old at 100 years old when really she's just a baby for a dragon elder. And she decides that she needs to find a cure for her one wrinkle. And in doing so, she ends up on Earth and starts getting these strange ideas. And then she gets influenced by a throne that's come from another planet, where she gets the idea that she's going to mate with a human to produce the first ruler of Nomaris, the first queen of Nomaris. And of course, dragons and humans can't mate, but she's she's kind of deluding herself. But yeah, she loves her long
Right.
fingernails and she loves her long
I
hair.
love that character.
What was that?
I love that character.
Thank you. Yeah, well, she's the starring role, except for her sister, who gets turned into a little human to hide her on Earth. So Synthargus, who's gone a little loco, doesn't eliminate her. So yeah, it's a complicated story. I have to rewrite the intro for that. But yeah, I love the planet Namaris and everything I put on it. And the second book is also a Namarian book, but Grinwicket is one of the stars of that one. So Grinwicket's a grumpy old wizard who likes to stay away from the other wizards, and so he has his assignment at the far end of the desert. But in the end, he ends up having to take care of a young girl who's one of the dreamers, because their dreams manifest very fast. And
It sounds like
so,
a wonderful cartoon movie. One of those 3D, those really
yeah,
Fantasia type movies.
yeah, I definitely I see it as a movie as I'm writing it. So I'm already there,
Hmm.
and I've written music for it, and I'm writing more music now. So I've got a soundtrack in the back of my head all the time when I'm writing, and that's I see this as being a movie. So
Well,
actually the plan. Go ahead.
Joseph, he wrote the soundtrack for this show, and he's in the same way for his writing. He's an author as well for science fiction. Both of you are, and he's very much into the, I think, musical backdrop sound channeling stuff too, and I think that's very cool.
Oh, you're an awesome poetess. I love swirls on a green
Well,
plate.
I don't do poetry anymore, but
No.
that's no. I think that if anything, I want to get back into the writing of the book that I was doing, which was A Slave to Fur.
Yes.
But
Yes. Love that.
uh, that I used to do a lot of songwriting. I used to do a lot of poetry, but that had its chapter, and now I'm out of that chapter.
Oh, I
But I do.
understand. I'm not writing
Um,
songs per se anymore. Now it's all soundtrack for Namaris.
It's
So,
weird. That's the thing about being a rainbow crone, don't you think? We're constantly
yes,
changing. I feel like being a woman of wisdom and a rainbow crone is knowing that you do not have to be who you used to be.
exactly. You are
And there's
many
so
people
many,
inside you, many expressions of your true self. So why limit it?
and right? And so many people want to keep you pegged into who you were.
Oh
And
yeah,
they remember those chapters, and they won't let those chapters go. And oftentimes when you say, "Oh, well, I'm doing a little different now." Oh. And it's like, no, you don't understand. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. It feels good. So people
exactly.
like what's familiar. They like what's familiar. And when you're in constant change, um, and I think many rainbow crones are, many artistic women are. Spiritual women are constantly dealing with how to relate to relationships, oftentimes as they're spiritually changing.
Mm.
And I think that, that's another thing that maybe you have gone through as well.
Oh yeah, this has been one hell of a year for me. Finding out about my husband of 23 years cheating on me. That was quite a surprise, but not really because I am
Surprise!
highly intuitive.
Yeah,
It just,
yeah.
I had to wait until I had the proof in my hand, though, before I could let myself explode. But now it's over, and I've already gone through the grieving, and I'm so happy to be back on the air, and I'm so glad that I can be here with you because one of the things that in the end, he made all these conditions for me, and one of them was I had to choose between broadcasting and him. And I had to choose between radio and him. It was always whatever I liked. He wanted to challenge it and say, "Well, you've got to choose, between me and that." And I said, "All right. Although that's emotional blackmail, I'll give this a test run and see what happens." So I went off the air for 4 months, and during that 4 months, that's when I made all my discoveries and made all my moves. So yeah,
Hmm.
I'm in a great place now, and he's in California still cheating. He's going to have his karma to deal with, and I feel great. So yeah,
But living with his parents.
living with his parents and still seeing the same married woman, and her husband's going to be finding out this week about the truth. So he's got a lot to answer to, but that's his problem.
That's right.
And
You don't have
after
to go there
23 years of
anymore.
taking care of him, I'm like, I am fine.
You're
I
good.
wasn't the
You're good.
one. What was
And
that?
in the meanwhile, there's nothing that happens that isn't meant to. So maybe this was the kick in the ass that you needed to progress to your next chapter.
Oh, I agree. I agree totally.
And for all
Yeah,
of us.
I was starting to get stagnant. I wasn't honoring myself as a rainbow crone, and you find yourself in situations sometimes where you end up doing a lot of deflecting, like instead of
Deflecting.
doing what you need to do, you're too busy dealing with the crap in front of you, and yeah, so that's all over, and I don't have to deal with that crap anymore. Now it can be me. So
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
got
Well,
my new Fitbit.
that you got a new Fitbit? I lost
Got
my
new
Fitbit.
Fitbit. Love it.
It makes a difference. It really does. I know that it shouldn't, but when I'm wearing my Fitbit and it starts buzzing saying "Get off your ass," I
Yes.
do. And when I start looking at my steps and stuff, and I have really gone downhill since I've lost my purple Fitbit. But I don't know where it went to, and I'm sure it'll turn up. But it's
Well,
harder in the cold weather to do it, to have that constant exercise sometime. But I found
oh,
that
but
it
I found that
that
put on a good dance song and watch your numbers go up. So when I can't go
that
outside because it's
that's
either too hot or too sunny, because I have to watch the sun, I just dance up a storm and I watch those numbers go up, and I think, yay!
That's
So,
true. And the thing is, I have noticed that you don't have to be walking, you don't have to be dancing. They basically count all your movements. So if you're sitting on your butt doing nothing except moving your fingers on a computer, you're not going to get near the steps and the movement counts. So
oh no,
movement counts. It's not necessarily about just steps. What it does is encourages you to move, and that's
right.
that's a good thing. Well, we have some people inside the in quick room.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
I am going to send a hey into Facebook to let everybody know that we are on. You are going to get over 80 years reading experience with a reading. I hope you cannot hear my dogs playing with my husband in the background, and he's doing his howling. Um, and we have Susan from Massachusetts, Jan from LA. We have Melissa from South Carolina, and we have Brenda from Ohio. And again, the number to call in is 602 666 6027. To call in, we love to hear your voice. Would you like to try to take one from Susan? She's in quick. Is that all right?
Oh, sure, of course.
Okay, Susan from Massachusetts says, "Hello, ladies. I just dropped off my application yesterday. The position is to be filed in about a week. Do you see me getting this job, or do you see something else coming up for me? Blessings to you, Anne Marie and Adrienne."
Well, ironically, I went with the answer is simple, and I got a card that says, "Be patient. Your turn will come." So basically, if you bang your head against the wall, you're not doing yourself any good. Just going to give yourself a good headache. You're going to have to be patient and wait this one out. So it
Aha.
doesn't say yes or no, but the backup card is to tell the truth. If you're honest with yourself, you'll know if you really want this job or not. So and just feel your way around here instead of trying to intellectualize it. But your turn,
I would
Annie.
I would go along with you on this because I am shown that this is what comes through, that she has a lot of good, stable work behind her. She is a person who loves a challenge, but this job may not be right for her. And it
Mm,
says that this job in particular may not give her the results that she wants, Susan. And it says, "Don't worry, another one is coming. So, yes, do be patient." My feeling is that this specific job may not happen for you like you want, but that's only because something better is coming around the corner.
yep, I have to agree.
Yep. So, speaking of having to be patient and waiting for things to come around the corner, what can you say at this particular time in autumn with winter coming that's going to be that number one thing that you know you need to be patient but diligent about to reach a fulfilling life goal?
For me personally,
Uh-huh.
oh well, usually my thing has been getting seed catalogs, and all winter you
Ah,
have to be patient, to get those catalogs and choose what you're going to plant in the
mm,
garden. Of course, then you have to wait patiently for the seed to get there and for the ground to thaw enough for you to plant that stuff. Um,
mhm.
this year, what I have to be patient with is literally turning over a new leaf of the next book. I am really eager to get started on the second book because I've already got it sketched out. But I first have to turn the first one into a Kindle book, which is a lot of work and more of a chore than a pleasure. But I do get to revisit my planet again. So I have to remind myself, let's just be patient and take it one day at a time and just get the job done. And then I'll be free to get the other one launched.
Yeah,
So that's for me.
sometimes the scary stuff for me. Oh, oh, I think that yeah, that's what happens. Writer's block.
Uh,
It's something that I dread. I find myself filled with all of these potential dreams and goals, and I sit down, and then when I want to put it all down at once so I don't forget, and I find that oftentimes what happens is constipation of the storytelling. And I or the other thing is correcting my message as I go to the point where I inhibit my own writing. So
yeah,
that's
I've got
something I
suggestions for
need to
that.
be patient. Yeah, I need to be patient about that. We
Well,
got John
you
from
also need to
10th. John,
change your. I'm sorry, Annie. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, no. What were we going to say?
Well, I don't have writer's block. I have never actually suffered writer's block, even as a musician. But what I have had is where I reach a dead end for a moment And that's when I get up and I do something else. So instead of trying to push through it where I'm going to end up being ingenuine, or it's just not going to be that nice flow that you need to get into to be good. Because if you're in the flow, then everything is going to work good. Everybody's going to be with you. But if you push it, it's going to stink. And instead of going back and correcting my grammar and trying to, tweak a sentence here and tweak a sentence there, I overworked the first 2 chapters of my first book. So I know not to do that anymore.
That's what I mean. That's what
Yeah.
I mean.
No, you put it, get away from the computer, get away from your keyboard, and go do something else. Pick up your guitar and strum it, go for a walk, dance around the house. Do not go back to the writing of your book until you have cleared out some of that energy and you have expressed yourself in some other artistic or physical way. And if you give yourself those breaks, when you sit back down, it's going to be like, whoof, there it is. I got it. Or even while you're walking, it'll pop in your head. You'll know exactly what you write next. Sit down. You got 4 hours, and there you go.
Good idea. Good idea. Let's go to John from Tennessee. Hello, John.
Hi, ladies. How are you tonight?
Great.
Hello, John. Great. How are you?
I'm great. Adrienne, do you recognize my voice?
I know who you are.
It's Second Star.
I know. I knew as soon as you said John from Tennessee. So.
Right. Everyone has to find Adrienne's show if you haven't been there. I have to say that. It's wonderful.
What was that? Oh, thank you.
I said everyone must find Adrienne's show. When she does that, you have to go there. It's a
Thank
great
you.
All right.
Thank you so much. I feel the same way about Annie's show.
Well, I've never been to one of hers, but this is. I mean, I'm feeling this great vibe going, and the last card you showed actually was speaking to me. This often happens on the shows, by the way, and other people may tell you this. When Adrienne has her shows, one card is drawn for one person, but it will speak to other people, and I have this experience with her quite often.
Cool. So what can we read on for you today, John?
I'm wondering if we could just do a general thing like we do in Adrienne's show. Does it have to be real specific?
Nope. We can just pick up whatever comes up. So, Adrienne, go for it.
Now.
Okay, John, the card that I picked for you today was from the Answer is Simple deck, which you're familiar with. Just sing. Okay, it's not about all the accolades. The point is to enjoy what you're doing. Stop worrying about the audience. Just get into it. And if you get into it, then other people, if you think it's good when you're done, other people will also think it's good. Whether this is about writing, playing the piano, singing, whatever it is that you're doing, just go ahead and give the performance. There will be roses thrown at you. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the process. So that's my part.
John, I don't read like Adrienne, but what comes up for me is equally, it says, you have something to celebrate about. I'm not sure what it is. It's either now or in the next 3 weeks, but it says something in your life is going to bring you great joy. I'm also showing a person in the future that seems to be aggressively coming towards you, and that this person seems to be offering you some kind of adventure or some kind of proposition, and that there is a feeling that at this time you seem to be very fond of her. Your reading shows that in the past it was a little confusing. Maybe about 2 weeks, maybe about 2 months. But things, John, were feeling as if they were a little bit just not sure. But it says increasingly you're beginning to realize there is an amazing friendship there. And that with that amazing friendship, it means you don't have to think of any tricks or somersaults or what you're going to do or what you're going to say, because of the fact of the nature of this wonderful, wonderful friendship being of pure joy. So what it says basically, I would say with Adrienne, just like Adrienne, rejoice. You are at a time with someone special, someone you care about, that seems to be so carefree and so undrama-like that it's just the pure joy of it being in the flow. And that's what comes up.
So this person coming at me, is that something I can feel positive about?
Yes, it says pure joy.
Interesting. Okay. So that's fascinating.
So that's what we
Cool.
have, John.
It sounds good
I
to
guess
me. I
we're
appreciate your time so much. And I will watch the rest of the show to watch what else might resonate with me. Something else I encourage all your followers and listeners to pay attention to. It's not just about what's drawn for you. Sometimes messages come from other places. They come from places we least expect. So watch the
Are
whole
you a
show.
spiritualist, John? Are you a spiritualist?
Well, I'm an astrologist, not by trade, but I've studied it for years, decades now, actually. People have told me I should do it professionally. I do use the cards myself, and I seem to be attuned to them. They seem to be speaking to me. Adrienne has a special gift with the cards. Some people use tarot cards. What comes up doesn't seem alive. They come to life in Adrienne's hands, I can promise you. They really do, every week. And I don't
Thank
know what
you.
it is, but it's just
That's
true.
very sweet of you to say.
But it's true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. And they speak.
Adrienne comes and makes everything come alive. She is
Right.
one of those people that makes everything seem extremely animated.
Right, but the cards, there's something about her connection to what's going on with the cards. And she may laugh at this. I know she thinks astrology is a pseudoscience sometimes, but I've studied it enough to know that it may be her Pisces sun in the 8th house.
Ooh.
I'll just say that.
Well, it
What
isn't
was
my
that?
Virgo moon. Or it isn't my Virgo moon.
I don't know, but I mean Pisces
Yeah.
tend to be, there's a mystical side to them. That's very well known. And the 8th house is the other side, sort of. So part of you is really connected to. I know because I'm a Pisces sun in the 8th house, and I'm connected to that too. Sometimes it's like I'm not even here on this planet. I'm just observing from somewhere else.
Cool.
Huh.
But, well,
All
not
right.
always.
Thanks for
But
the
thank you.
insight.
Thanks, John.
Thank you for the reading. It was wonderful.
Glad you
Thanks
can
for
make
being
it.
part of the show. All
And I
right,
will
we
watch.
have a message from in quick, and again, like John, we encourage you to call into the show. The number is 602-666-6027. We have Jan from LA, and she says, hi, Anne-Marie and Adrienne, may I please have a general reading if you have time? So I guess that means whatever comes through, Adrienne.
Okay. Well, I have an important message, and it's really funny because this is a card. Again, I'm going with the answer is simple. It's an amazing deck. The card is to have fun. Now, it's not as simple as it looks. Like, oh yeah, okay, you're being told to go out and have some fun. The point about this is to remember that you are as deserving of having a good time, of enjoying your life as anybody else. And if you continually sacrifice your time so that other people can enjoy something, but you stand back and go, oh no, let them have that, I'll be fine, or let them do that, they can have my ticket, they can go on the merry-go-round, and I'll just stand over here and watch. Well, that's basically deluding yourself, because it's kind of like being on the airplane where the oxygen masks drop, and if you're the adult, you're supposed to put it on yourself first, make sure that you can think and you can breathe and you've got what you need to survive before you go and turn around to help your neighbor. Well, it's the same thing with fun and joy. If you want to have some fun and joy in your life, you have to fill that well of your own before you have something that you can genuinely share with others. So when this card says to have fun, it's not just, oh yeah, I'm going to go out and have fun. It's to remind yourself that you are just as worthy as anybody else, and you need to fill your own well before you've got something to give away. So your joy is other people's joy. So enjoy.
Awesome. Yes. And I would say that seems to resonate very strongly, because when I look at Jan, what comes up is that she is so, her mission seems to be commitment, responsibility, and working very hard at excelling and making money and improving herself. And it shows that you will have these things, Jan. But remember, we all give 100% of ourselves to a major priority. But if we're not having fun while we're honoring that priority, then we're losing our mission on this beautiful blue marble earth. to find ourselves, because life is obviously more about fun, like Adrienne said, or learning to be able to see humor and laughter and fun in even the things that make us cry or seem to be things we get mad about. So your reading says, especially if you're surrounded by assholes, especially during this time that you may be appreciating what you are doing, remember, as Adrienne said, have fun. Life is more than the priority of responsibility and commitment. And that's what I have, Jan. So if
Sounds
we
good.
look at, we have Melissa from South Carolina, and she says, "Hello, Anne Marie and Adrienne. I am a little concerned about my finances and would like to know if you can do a reading for me from now till the first of the year to see if there will be any improvement or direction. Thanks very much." This is from Melissa from South Carolina.
Okay. Well, you go first, Annie. I'm going to go with the Halloween Tarot, and I'm going to need to shuffle this. And you are the fastest
All
reader I
right.
have ever seen. People, if you want a cool reading, you've got to have Annie do it for you in person, if possible, because she is mind blowing.
Well, thank you. Okay, so I have October, November, December, January, and February, Melissa. October is seen as the month where you need to be very patient with your finances, because there may be one of those weird bills or weird life situations coming up in November that really needs you to be responsible and all the things that Jan is. And you want to be sure that you didn't, and we all do this. We have a good month and we want to just have fun and not think about having to scrimp and save. But this is really coming that Christmas time, and it says October and November and December. Just be a little bit careful with your finances, because there does seem to be something. I don't know whether it's a refrigerator or some kind of appliance that seems to be going haywire, but you'll notice that a break comes after Christmas and the holidays are coming. You need to maybe stash your money a little bit, and after that, I see a breakthrough for you. So that's what comes up, Melissa. What about you, Adrienne?
Actually, I've got pretty much the same thing. I don't do a time frames exactly like you do,
Mhm.
but this is coming up soon. It does look like there is going to be some kind of a loss, but your foundation is firm, so it's not like being homeless, but you can have something that's going to be a surprise expense, or actually, this suggests you might already know what's coming up. So I'm going to offer this. First of all, the final outcome is great. 10 of pumpkins or 10 of coins. So you're going to
Cool.
get back on your feet, but you do have to take the precautions of not being overly generous over the holidays, and I would say that starts right now. So even if you had a little windfall, do not blow it. Hold on to it, because you do have something happening, and it's probably going to be 2 or 3 things in a row, because I've got a point here where you go, ah, am I going to make it to the other side? And,
Mm.
like not waiting for the other shoe to drop, because the other shoe drops. But then you go, all right, if you just, and I'm going to say this, stay on your own path, stay positive.
Mhm.
It's not always easy to stay positive in the face of difficult circumstances, but because your outcome is so good, it's worth it. So if you can't make things for Christmas to give away, cook something or whatever, keep your expenses down as much as possible from here through the first of the year, maybe through the end of January, and then bam, 10 of pumpkins. You either get a promotion, a raise, a different job, something good is going to happen. So you just have to keep it going until then, which is, hey, there's worse things that can happen than that. And because you got the magician card as well, the magician tells you that you have the tools you need to get through this. You're not going to be alone, and it's not going to all fall apart. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if you need to replace a major appliance or something like that. So back to you, Annie. Uh-oh. Well, I don't hear Annie. Anne Marie. I can't hear you. Hello?
Bill?
Hello?
Okay.
All right,
Yes, I'm
back.
back. All right. Sorry about that. Sometimes that happens. Okay, we
As
have
long as you're back.
another. Yeah, we have. Let me see. We have Brenda. Brenda is from Ohio, and she says, "Hey, girls, is there romance for me in the air between now and the next spring? Thanks."
Ooh la la.
Oh.
I will shuffle the cards while Annie does the first reading.
Okay. All right, Brenda. It's looking at love, and you know me, just will cut to the chase. Honey, I see definitely a dream come true for you. November, December look excellent, especially because it shows you've had a heartache and it was with a real jerk. And it says that that jerk is out of your life, somebody you need to let go of. Once you take the closed for business sign off your face, it is my belief that you will learn your lesson and remember every mistake has a lesson to learn. So stay away from whatever it was that was so exciting to you in that person in the past. And I'm shown that a new exciting person is seen, but I am getting November, December. What do you have, eh?
Well, as usual, I don't do the timeline thing, but I do see in recent
Hi,
past
I'm
you were
Anne
with
Marie.
somebody,
If
or
we have
you
a
have a lot of
recorded video
anxiety that's
call
kept you up at
reading
night,
or audio
um,
reading, I will
and
be
you're
here at the scheduled time. All readings are paid for in advance. To contact me, go to thecallingoflight.com, where you will find my contact number on the contact page. See you then.
all right.
Yep.
Okay,
Are you
so anyway, you have already been through all the worst of it. Okay, now this card shows that you are going to a better shore. You're leaving behind um, the situation or the person that was causing you this anxiety and stress. Definitely for the better, because you end up with the nine of ghosts, which is the hearts in a regular deck, cups and tarot. This is the satisfied merchant. This is like, oh, okay, finally somebody reasonable to talk to, somebody who can understand you on a more on your level. So I'm not going to say that this is like ultimate love or anything like that, but stop looking for that. First, look for somebody that you can connect with, that turns you on, not just physically, but intellectually. They have to be interesting enough for you to want to spend time with them. The last person you were with brought a whole lot of, or that last situation you've been in, brought a whole lot of negativity into your world, loss of sleep, anxiety. Wouldn't surprise me if you've even had panic attacks or anxiety attacks. But this is all passing away now. So you've got something good coming up in the future, but I cannot tell you exactly the date. I'm going to say maybe even as early as January, if you are just looking for connection rather than some kind of magical romance. Let that come on its own without you going like a hunter out there in the woods with a bow and arrow.
Yeah, at 10. Romance tends to be that you bring in what stage of life you are going through. So if you're healing and you have just moved on from a broken relationship and you're still feeling hurt, you need to be careful about what like attracts like. So you need to be careful that you can, to thine own self, be true. Relish in your low drama stage. Embrace it instead of trying to find someone else right away to go into drama with. And I do believe that you are getting closer to that, Brenda. And I do feel love is coming, but whether it is somebody that is, like Adrienne said, just a wonderful connection, it is somebody that I think is going to be a huge improvement from what you left.
Definitely. Definitely better.
All right.
Like opposite what you've been through.
I am going to go to Amber from Vermont. And she says, Adrienne, life has a way of prying our fingers open so we can receive better things for our life.
How true.
So that was from Amber to you from
Thank you, Amber.
Vermont. So I think
Yes.
we should do a message reading for Amber and just whatever comes up.
I think that's a great idea. And Amber, I thank you for taking the time to say that. That's really sweet of you, and you're absolutely right.
So do you have any message to say to Amber, or do you want me to go, or what one you want to
I am
go?
going to tell you right now. If you've been holding back on giving yourself the things that you like, stop. It's time for you to give yourself the best. Do not buy yourself crap clothes. Do not buy yourself crap food, because right now this is a time for you to nurture yourself and treat yourself to some of the best stuff. Hey, you know what? You buy a really nice sweater, let's say, and if it's good quality, you know it's going to last you for years versus going to Walmart and buying some for $12 that looks like crap after 1 year of washing. So invest in yourself. Get yourself something good. It doesn't have to be as outlandish as the card, of course, but it's like no holds barred when it comes to taking care of you. So you open your hand and accept the best. Over to you, Annie.
I was just sitting there listening to that, and I forgot to shuffle. I thought about my Fitbit. Now I lost my Fitbit, and I was thinking, get
$40 at
yourself a
Walmart.
Fitbit. Yeah.
40
Okay,
bucks.
so Amber, what comes up for me, sweetie, says, you are kind of a brass ovary gal. Your reading says that in the past, you may have been a little bit upset because some people, for whatever reason, are intimidated at times by you. They get confused. How does somebody have their shit together so much as yourself? And yet at the same time, it isn't how you want to look or appear to people. It seems to be, though, that you have a very intense and very leadership side to yourself that sometimes gets misinterpreted. So your reading says, if people are not reacting to your honesty and to your dynamic ambition in the way that you would want them to, it's okay. Like Adrienne says, right now work on you. Sometimes when we are a healer at heart and we spend a huge amount of time healing others, sometimes it's just important to work on ourselves and screw them. If they can't seem to honor your strengths, then maybe just don't focus on them. Give them some distance and work on you for now. And that's what I see.
I have to agree with that.
Okay, we have Emily, and then I believe we have some time for your meditation.
Cool.
Um,
All right.
Emily is from Connecticut, and she says, I am not working right now, but I'm seeking work, and I'm wondering, will I find employment soon? Many thanks.
Well, interesting. Okay, Annie, did you want to go first?
I can. So if
Okay.
I look at Emily from Connecticut. Will you find work soon? And what comes through says, um, well, first of all, remember, finding work is easy. Finding the kind of job you like is not easy. So, can you find work? Absolutely. Maybe it'll be a coffee shop. Maybe it'll be a greeter at Walmart. Maybe it'll be something that you can do to tide the time if you're not working already, doing something that is going to keep you going during the times that you're getting a better job. My feeling is that you are on the verge of having a huge life change for the better. I'm shown that any loneliness that you experienced is going to be much better also, because I feel that if you've been feeling like you're on the outside looking in, either because you weren't working or because you felt like that way at your job, it says once you decide to start getting on to a job again, no matter how small, you're going to meet more people. And meeting more people takes you out of your loneliness, as well as it says it will tide the time until you find something you like. What do you have, E?
Well, I've got an interesting message here. So the first thing I'm going to ask you, or to ask yourself, is have you been telling the same story over and over? Do you find yourself talking to everybody and just it's always the same thing, um, old baggage, complaints? Uh, are you catching yourself bitching about other people or what they're doing or anything like that? Because if that's something that's going on, you've got to stop it right now. Don't talk about other people. Don't talk about your own problems right now. You can talk to your best friend or your mom or whatever, somebody really close, but everybody else in the world should not know a darn thing. Right now, with the drop it card, it says, you're carrying around some excess baggage emotionally or mentally, and it is manifesting, and usually it manifests as verbalizing. And the first thing you've got to do is stop talking about what's bugging you to anybody, because what you're really doing is you're amplifying it. And if you can't let that go, you're not putting out the right vibration to get the job or the position that you really want. So stop talking about the past. Don't talk about your past jobs unless you're talking to in an interview, and then you're careful about what you say. Don't talk about it. Just plain drop it, literally. Um, and anybody asks you a specific question, if it's something that's again in the don't talk about it vein, then just get out of answering that question as fast as you can, or just answer it like this much and then drop it, because you're getting ready to start anew. And you can't be that caterpillar turning into a butterfly unless you first are ready to shed your old skin. So that's what you're doing here. In a way, you're shedding your old skin, dropping the old drama, dropping the old stories. Instead of talking about the way life is at the moment or has been in the past, start thinking if you had a magic typewriter and you can write out how you want your life to go from now on, then what would you be typing? And think about that. Think about the future. What would you like? Don't talk about the past. You're getting ready for a new start. That includes walking away from the past.
Sounds
That's
like very,
very important.
very wise and wonderful information. So thank you on that.
Yeah.
How many of us do that? We tell the same old story in the past, and that goes a lot like what I said. Sometimes it's not even about telling the same story in the past. Sometimes we tell the same story in the past because people of the past won't let us change for the new, or won't let us change for the better. So we feel obligated to please them by saying, "Well, I'm doing this and this, but I'm still doing this."
Right,
And
right.
it's like, so yeah, those are very wise words. Well,
Yep, just
Adrienne,
drop it.
would you like to do your meditation right now?
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
Everybody relax. Do a little stretch. We're going to enter the theater of your mind, so you don't actually need to watch the video. You just need to close your eyes and listen. We're going to do a visualization that starts with a pumpkin, just because of the holiday. Okay, so inhale through your nose, like you're smelling your favorite flower, and then exhale through your mouth like you're blowing out a candle. Go ahead and close your eyes, drop your shoulders, relax your back, and I want you to imagine that you're sitting on a chair, and in front of you is the biggest, most orange pumpkin you have ever seen in your life. Big pumpkin. All right. Now you're seeing that orange pumpkin, and as you're staring at it, I want you to notice that it's not quite what you thought it was to start with. It's not quite a pumpkin. As a matter of fact, while you're watching it, it's getting more and more transparent until it looks like golden glass, a big glass pumpkin with sparkles here and there, kind of reminiscent of Cinderella's magical carriage. In fact, if you look carefully, you will see a door. That's how big this pumpkin is. It's big and golden glass, and it's got a door. Now go ahead and open that door and step inside this beautiful gold sphere. There's a nice little gold chair sitting there waiting for you. So just go ahead and sit down on that, close the door behind you, and notice that you are surrounded by a beautiful, warm gold color and light. Inhale that gold light. Inhale that peace and relaxation that is present inside of this glass pumpkin. Now in front of you appears a smaller pumpkin, and this one looks like a real pumpkin, except it's already been cut into a jack-o'-lantern. If you look inside or you put your hand in, you're going to pull out a treat, something that you need in your life right now. It might be a miniature piano, for example. It might be a paintbrush. It might be candy. So go ahead and reach in and pull something out and take a look at it. What is it that you need? And if it's not what you need, then go ahead and put your hand back in that magic pumpkin and pull out something else. And anything you pull out that you like, you can go ahead and keep. Stick it in your pocket. They're like little blessings, little gifts from the universe. Whether it's a Snickers bar or a new guitar. Okay, next to that pumpkin is a glass of water, and it's a sparkling glass of water. Yeah, this water is the most refreshing water on the entire planet. It is the purest water. It is the cleanest water. It sparkles in the gold light. And when you drink it, you are going to feel your body being renewed and refreshed. Drench every cell with this pure water. So go ahead and drink up. Enjoy that. Feel yourself. You are in the safest place in the world. Now when the glass is empty, put it back down. If there's anything else in that pumpkin you want to take out, go ahead. And now if you'll notice, the door has swung open. And you can get up and go back outside, get back in your chair, and keep that peaceful, easy feeling for the rest of the week. And remember that you can always go back into the theater of your mind whenever you need some peace. At the count of 3, open your eyes. 1, 2, 3. Welcome back.
Cool. I
hope you all enjoyed that.
I pulled out a notebook and a rainbow.
Oh, how cool is that? Well, we know what you're going to be doing. Writing.
I don't know what the rainbow is significant of, but I guess it means keep it positive.
Rainbow crone, honey. As part
rainbow
of
crone. There, of course. Yeah, that's what we're doing, isn't it? Ah, yes.
Yeah, you got your rainbow. You always have your rainbow with you in your heart. So no matter what it's doing outside, you carry that rainbow with you, Annie. I mean, you are a rainbow. So I'm so glad I know you. And
I'm
thank
glad
you,
I know you.
thank
Well,
you so
I
much for having
really,
me.
where can people find your show?
Oh, at ivlog dot oh my god, ivlog.com, I think it is. It's a small I, capital V, LOG, and the slash Grinwicket, GRINWHICKET. I also have an Adrienne Austin Facebook page and a Celestial Tea Room Facebook page. You can always find me there, and I always post the show before I do it. We have a Saturday afternoon show from 1 to 3 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, and a Monday morning show from 10 to noon.
Well,
So
I think we should have you back again next month on the third Wednesday. What do you think?
absolutely, I'd love to be here with you.
All right.
Yeah, the
So I
Brass
am
Ovary
I
radio show rides again.
uh-huh. That's right. And so I'm going to count on Adrienne coming back and with more meditations. Your meditations are always so awesome. I've always
Oh,
enjoyed
thank
them.
you. I'm
And
glad. I love doing them.
so I wish you blessings, and I have just have a wonderful week. So
You
I'll
too,
see you the
Renee.
third Wednesday of November.
I will write that down right now. Put it in my Kindle.
Unless
So,
let me see. What the only difference would be that Eric Linter is supposed to be the Wednesday after the new president. So
oh, then
I forget.
okay. We'll just confirm. We'll confirm a date. Sometime this
Okay,
week.
we'll
And
figure it out.
yeah,
Okay, may have to be the fourth one. Love you. Bye bye.
I love you. Bye bye.
Hi, I'm Anne Marie Odell at Achieve Radio's Tarot Joy. Come on upstairs. Grab yourself a tapestry pillow and get a down-home, honest reading with 30 years Master Tarot channeling experience. In addition, I will have a weekly spiritual guest from around the world. That's 2 readings per call for you. After the show, I invite you to come on over to thecallingoflight.com. I offer PayPal readings at 15-minute or 30-minute sections of time. All yours. To the calling of light.